What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have a massive one for you. We are finally talking about the character that has been living rent-free in a lot of our minds. I'm talking about Luke, the upcoming 5-star character dropping in the second phase of version 3.1. Now, let's be real for a second. Ever since the 3.0 update started rolling out, all eyes were glued to the AMF gameplay reveal. That took up a lot of the oxygen in the room. But in the background, a lot of us were sitting there wondering, okay, but what about Luke? We knew he was coming, but we didn't know what his kit actually looked like, or what his playstyle was really going to bring to the table. Well, the wait is officially over. We finally have a concrete kit preview that gives us a really solid picture of what this guy is all about. And let me tell you, from what we're seeing, he is shaping up to be an absolute monster. So, in today's video, we are going to break down every single scrap of information we have. The mechanics, the combos, the constellations, and the build theory. Lootbar.gg is a site that gives you big discounts on your in-game purchases. Let's take Wuthering Waves as an example. You can actually see the price difference right away when you compare. The process is super simple. Pick the pack you want, click Top Up, choose your payment method, and that's it. Your rewards show up right on your account. And don't worry, your login info is completely cleared after the transaction, so it's safe. New users can get up to 21% off plus additional discount coupons from the link in the description. And yes, first-time top-up bonuses are available as well. Let's dive straight into the world of Luke, starting off with the absolute basics. Through the latest drip marketing, it has been confirmed that Luke is a spectral unit using the gauntlet weapon type, and his role is firmly cemented as a main DPS. But here is where things get a little confusing, and honestly, really cool. Even though he is technically classified as a gauntlet user, you wouldn't know it by looking at him fight. The new info reveals that his primary weapon during animations is actually displayed as a scythe. So, functionally, he's a gauntlet character, but aesthetically, he feels much more like a broadblade or sword-style character when you're actually in combat. It's a really unique visual clash that sets him apart from other brawlers we've seen. But the defining trait of Luke isn't just his weapon, it's his positioning. Luke is officially an air specialist. This guy is an aerial combo carry. The kit is designed in a way that he is almost always in the air. Basically, if Luke is touching the ground, you're probably playing him wrong. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of the multipliers, we need to understand the flow. We now have a clear picture of his combat loop. Luke's gameplay revolves entirely around an infinite aerial combo loop. Here is how the rotation works, step by step. First, you start on the ground. You attack enemies to build up his unique resource, which is called the Solar Marrow gauge. Once that gauge is completely full, you trigger his enhanced state, known as Enter Gold Mode. This is where the fun begins. Once you are in Gold Mode, you take to the skies. You jump up and reach Aerial Basic Attack Stage 3. Hitting this stage transforms his resonant skill into a 3-step mid-air combo called Eclipse. This isn't just a simple button mash, there is a rhythm to it. The skill breakdown inside this mode is fascinating. Skill 1, this is your buffer. Using this buffs his next attack. Skill 2, this is your engine. This skill spins and actually resets his aerial attack string. That reset on skill 2 is the key. Because it resets the string, it enables that infinite loop we talked about earlier. You are buffing, spinning, resetting, and continuing the combo without landing. Then, you have skill 3, which creates a solar array field on the ground beneath you. This sets up his nuke. Once that field is down, you use a plunging attack called Shatter to detonate the field for massive damage. So, think of the plunging attack as your finisher, but the beauty of this kit is that before you pull the trigger on that finisher, you can keep that infinite air combo going for as long as you want using skill 1 and skill 2. It sounds incredibly fluid. Now let's move on to the unique mechanics, because Luke brings something to the table that we haven't really seen executed like this before. Luke has a dedicated aerial parry. When you are mid-air, Luke can dodge to release flying blades. If you time this correctly, it triggers a counter-strike while he is still floating. This confirms that he has a functional mid-air counter-strike mechanic. This is huge for maintaining uptime. Usually in these types of games, getting hit in the air means you fall and lose your flow. But Luke has a save mechanic. If Luke gets knocked airborne by an enemy, You can tap dodge before you hit the ground to trigger this effect. You can do this up to 3 times. Basically, instead of being knocked out of the air and looking silly, you can counter-strike, recover, and keep that infinite combo going. It drains stamina continuously while you hover, but it allows for a level of aggression that other characters just can't match. Also, it's worth noting that being a 3.0 generation character, he interacts with the new stun or break bar system. He applies a unique debuff called Deviation, which builds up interference stacks to boost his final damage output. I want to circle back and clarify the specific names of his skills, because the kit preview gave us some really cool terminology. We know his resonance skill allows for spamming and follow-ups. The skill names listed are Crown, Slaying, Eclipse, Ring, Break, and Radiance. Here is how they seem to interact based on the text. Ring. This deals spectral damage and changes his next basic attack into something called Gilded Pierce. Break. This deals spectral damage to enemies along the path and, this is the important part, resets the aerial attack to stage 1. This break skill is likely the skill 2 we mentioned earlier that enables the loop. Radiance. This is the big finisher state for a short duration. While in mid-air, you can tap basic attack to cast an aerial move called Verdict Earth Shatter. Here is a pro tip regarding his ultimate. If you pop his ultimate during this sequence, it will automatically explode the field after a certain number of seconds. While the exact duration isn't stated, we know it deals spectral damage and, crucially, it counts as basic attack damage. That last point about basic attack damage is the most critical piece of information for everyone planning to build Luke. The kit confirms that practically all of his multipliers count as basic attack damage. This makes building him actually quite straightforward. He is heavily focused on basic attacks. So, for those of you who like to pre-farm, I have good news. You can already start farming one of the new 3.0 Echo sets. You want the set that is centered around boosting basic attack, as that is going to be his best in slot by a mile. Alright, for the whales or the lucky F2P players, let's talk resonance chains. We have a solid picture of what his R1 through R6 provides. R1, this gives a defense and damage increase to his main aerial attack. It also grants automatic shields and interruption resistance while you are in gold mode. That interruption resistance is going to be super valuable for keeping him in the air. R2, this is an ultimate buff. It increases his resonance abrasion damage and raises the cap on his passive damage bonus. Big damage spike here. R3, this is a massive quality of life change. When Luke defeats an enemy, he stores their stacks and instantly applies them to the next target. This means no ramp-up time is needed when switching targets. You just go from kill to kill. R4. Surprisingly, this is a team buff. When anyone on the team triggers the new stun mechanic, Harmony Break, the entire team gains an all-type damage bonus. This gives him some nice utility if you run him in a dual DPS setup. R5. This is for the skill spammers. It increases intro and outro skill damage. It also gives his dash skill +1 charge and reduces the cooldown, so you are dashing and weaving way more frequently. R6, and finally, the whale bait. When nearby allies trigger stuns, enemies take increased damage from Luke. Additionally, his damage ignores the stack limit, meaning he instantly maxes out his passive bonus, 0 ramp up, maximum damage instantly. Rounding out the kit, let's look at his inherent skills. We don't have the exact percentage multipliers yet, but we know the effects. Inherent skill, 1. The resonance skill applies the deviation effect, that 3.0 stun debuff, for a set duration. Also, casting his intro skill, before Dawn is injected, grants him Radiance Guard stacks immediately. Inherent skill, 2. This is a damage amplifier. When damaging enemies affected by interference, his damage is increased based on the Harmony Break amplification. Essentially, break the enemy, punish the enemy. So looking at the big picture, Luke is an infinite combo aerial-focused spectral DPS who uses a scythe to rain down damage without ever touching the ground. He has built-in parries, save mechanics to stop him from falling, and he scales entirely off basic attack damage. We are still missing the specific duration numbers and the exact motion values, but we won't have to wait long. The full kit and the official gameplay reveal should be dropping tomorrow. I know the Luke mains have been going absolutely crazy because it felt like AMF was getting all the special treatment for this patch, But looking at this kit, I think the wait was worth it. He is looking pretty insane. I'm going to be covering the full official reveal the second it drops tomorrow, so make sure you are locked in. But I want to hear from you guys. Let me know down in the comments. What do you think of Luuk now that we know he is an aerial scythe user? Are you planning to summon for him in the second phase of 3.1? That is going to wrap up today's video. If you found this breakdown helpful, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those notifications. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace. Save up to 25% on current banners at lootbar.gg. Links in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.